Football is the ninth most watched sport in the world. However, it seems most viewers never take a second to think about the player's health or safety. In fact, just in the NFL alone last season, there were 149 concussions reported in only 271 games played. That equals to be a little more than one concussion for every 2 games played. It is estimated that the sport of football produces 1.2 million injuries annually, spanning from a simple sprain to concussions or different levels of head trauma.
My name is Justice Jones. I've been playing football for 10 years. 3 of those years were varsity. I got into the sport of football because I was told by my stepfather that a man's worth is what he can do on the football field. How many touchdowns he gets, how many tackles he makes, and everything that he's able to do out there directly corresponds to his worth as a man.
My name is Kevin Wood Jr. I play linebacker. A little bit about my football career. I started when I was about in 3rd grade in San Diego. That's where I'm from. Moved to Texas in about 7th grade. Played middle school football and then went to high school, played high school football in San Antonio. And then was fortunate enough to come and play 5 years at the University of North Texas. Throughout my career, I've had about 3 diagnosed concussions. I'm sure I've had more that I never really got checked, but I know for sure I've had 3.
Over the course of my football career, I've had 5 total concussions, 2 in my Pee Wee League and 3 in my varsity career. They've greatly affected most of my life. Every day I wake up with a headache, and they've very much slowed down my thought process, my response to things, how well I can comprehend things. They haven't affected me to the point that I can't learn, but they have slowed me down. During my time playing football, I've worn 2 helmets. The first one is the Raiden Speed, more commonly known as the Bucket. That's the one I wore all throughout my Pee Wee League, middle school, and freshman year. It's safe to say I did not feel comfortable ever wearing that. As such, I got 2 concussions. And then while I was on varsity, I got upgraded to a Speed Flex. It's a much better helmet, however, not much better considering I got 3 more concussions while playing.
A little bit about the helmet I wear. It's called a Axiom, so you have to get specially fit for it. They'll come in, you'll put this thing on your head. They'll kind of scan your whole head, and then they'll be able to make a helmet that fits you exactly. There's no adjustments needed. Once you put it on, it's perfect. I think wearing that helmet definitely makes me feel a lot safer than in comparison to any other helmet I've worn, just because of the science behind it and how I've seen it in real life actually prevent me from taking harder hits, because they're able to track how hard the hit actually you're taking is after the fact with the data they get.
The equipment, is it safe enough for athletes in today's game? I think it is safe enough. However, everything needs to adapt, and everything, with newer technology, there's always newer things that we can do to try to prevent these as much as possible. I think the equipment has come a long way, from shoulder pads to helmets to mouth guards. So I think, is it always going to be enough? Probably not, but there's always ways that we can try to make it better. But I think it is okay for what we're dealing with right now. I believe the equipment does what it's needed to do if it's used properly.
Seeing these cases of CTE in 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old men makes me fearful, considering my 5 concussions and knowing that at any year down the line, it could hit me with dementia almost at any time. It scares me, and as such, I've decided to go into the medical field as a physician in neurology to try and find a solution so that these men don't have to live the next 30 years of their life in fear of not being able to remember a thing. After playing football for 10 years and witnessing the many injuries and concussions, my own and my teammates, I can confidently say that me or my teammates will definitely have CTE further down the line. I might begin developing it in my 50s to 60s, hopefully not till my 70s. And I know certainly some of my seniors who were more reckless than me and who decided to hide their injuries, hide their concussions just to be able to play. I remember going from practice to practice, seeing their concussion symptoms and them ignoring it and me telling them to sit out, but they decided to be stubborn and continue working through it just for the sake of getting that next play, getting that next tackle, hopefully getting a scholarship so that they could go to college.
In terms of the cases of CTE and how they appear more frequently now, it definitely does scare me a bit. Just knowing that in my position, I do take a lot of blows to the head, and you see guys every day kind of affected by that now, and you can never really know if you have it until after you pass. So it's kind of definitely a scary thing that I have to think about in the back of my head. But like I said, it kind of comes with the sport.
I think it's just the tip of the iceberg as far as CTE is concerned, and what we're seeing with the development of that. Obviously, with newer technologies, newer scans, MRIs, CT scans that can pick up these injuries, we're seeing, I think, just at the beginning stages of what we're going to find out. I think, obviously it's something that we have to continue to look at in dealing with sports. It's kind of relatively not new, but it's being looked at a lot more and being studied a lot more. It's just hard to figure out how to study that and where to kind of see where this is going as far as what we need to implement based on those studies. So it's interesting to see where it's going with CTE and what they're going to find out.
If I had to add in any rules, I wouldn't add in rules to the actual game. I would add in regulations for practices, and especially requirements coaches have to teach. Specific ways of tackling, specific ways of hitting, so that students can protect their heads, so that they don't have to go through practice to practice fearing of, will I get a concussion? Will I not be able to think when I'm 40? Those are the things that I would want to add in so that these kids can live a normal life.
It really just comes down to the people coaching these kids and these players how to play the game. Because if you're coaching them to play it in a dangerous way, you're kind of asking for bad results. You know what I mean? If people are out there being coached how to properly play, how to properly tackle, I feel like you're really limiting the chances of them having these severe side effects from playing football.